Hello students, I am Rohini Borate and today we will talk about the science subject and we will talk about the 8th standard science subject. In that we will discuss about the cell. So we will discuss about the structure of cell, function of cell and the functions of the components present in the cell. In that chapter we will discuss about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell also. So let's write the name of the chapter. Cell structure and function. 8th standard the science subject chapter. Okay. So if we talk about the word cell, it is not that we are listening this word first time. Already we have discussed about the cell in previous classes, but obviously we will be reading something extra in 8th standard chapter. So to begin start with, I would like to start from the history of the cell. Now, history of the cell. History means the first question rises in our mind that who discovered the cell? Who gave the name of the cell? Okay? History means who discovered the cell and who gave the name of the cell. A scientist, Robert Hooke, in 1665 discovered the cell. Now, who discovered the cell? A scientist, Robert Hooke, in 1665 discovered the cell. Okay? This is about the history of the cell. What did he study? How he discovered the cell? He made the slide of cork or bark. Now, what is meant by cork or bark? Actually, the meaning of these two words is same. Cork or bark. Cork or bark, it is nothing but the dead tissue. It is actually dead tissue. Okay, cork or bark, it is a dead tissue. But we talk about the Robert Hooke. He made the slide of cork or bark and he saw the slide in his own microscope. In that he observed the structure appeared like a hexagonal shape, or we can say the hexagonal cell or honeycomb-like structure. The structure appeared like a honeycomb-like structure or hexagonal shape-like structure. He observed this structure under a microscope. Okay, he observed this structure under a microscope. And whatever his structure appeared, it is a vacant. Whatever his structure appeared, it is a vacant structure, and from this he gave the name cell. From this he gave the name cell. From this it is clear that who discovered the cell? A scientist, Robert Hooke, in 1665 discovered cell in a cork or bark, means it is in the dead tissue. Okay. We will talk about the Robert Hooke. Means means his work in another cytology. Means he is known as the father of cytology. Robert Hooke is also known as father of cytology. Now, what is meaning of cytology? What is the meaning of cytology? Cyto means cell and logy means to study. Logy means to study. Cyto means cell, logy means to study. From this, the definition here is, it is the branch of science which deals with the study of the cell. What is the definition? Definition is here. It is the branch of science which deals with the study of cell. Definition of cytology is here. It is the branch of science which deals with the study of cell. Okay? What do we study? A cell is discovered by who? History. A scientist, Robert Hooke, in 1665 discovered the cell, and he gave the name cell. From that he observed the structure under microscope, and it looks like a honeycomb-like structure, or we can say hexagonal shape. And scientist Robert Hooke, he also known as the father of cytology. The meaning of cytology means cyto means cell, logy means to study. And the definition is here. It is the branch of science which deals with the study of the cell. Okay? And a scientist Robert Hooke, he was the one who first discovered the cell. Means he was the one who first discovered the cell, and he also gave the name of the cell. So contribution of Robert Hooke is very important in biology. Another, there is again one scientist whose contribution is also remarkable and important in biology, and the scientist is Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Who is that scientist? Anton van Leeuwenhoek, whose contribution is also remarkable in the biology. What did he study? What he observed? He was the one who said that all living organisms are made up of cell. What did he say? All living organisms are made up of cells. Okay? Is that clear? Who discovered the cell and the work of these two scientists like Robert Hooke and Anton van Leeuwenhoek. So this was the basic. Now we will discuss about the cell. If I want a questions like what is a cell? How should we describe the cell? How you can answer the cell? So what is a cell? The definition is here. Cell is the structural, functional, basic and smallest unit of life. What is a cell? Cell is a structural, functional, basic and smallest unit of life. What is a cell? A cell is a structural, functional, basic and smallest unit of life. Okay? You know that we cannot see the cells in our naked eyes. But I agree, there are some cells which we can see in our naked eyes. Okay? But most of the cells are microscopic. They are the smallest term. So here is mentioned that cell is a structural, functional, basic and smallest unit of life. Why is cell is the smallest unit of life? Because we cannot see the cell in our naked eyes. We need to use of the microscope. So we can say that the cell is the smallest unit of life. Okay? Why we can say that the cell is the smallest unit of life? Because we cannot see the cells in our naked eyes. We need to use of the microscope. So we say that the cell is the smallest unit of life. Okay? When we say about the basic, you know that the what is the basic unit of wall? Wall is made up of what? Obviously, the brick. Brick is the small basic unit of the wall. When we putting bricks one upon other, a huge structure or huge building is formed in the same way by the multiplication of cell, or we can say when cells come together or they kept together, huge organism is formed and the structure formed is a cell. So we can say that the cell is the basic unit of life. Why we say that the cell is the basic unit of life? When all the cells we came together or they kept together, a huge structure is formed. From this we can say that the cell is the basic unit of life. Okay? When we say about the functional, we know that the cells performing all the functions which are necessary to our bodies or that of the organism. If we take an example of our body performing all the functions which are necessary to our body, means our cells performing all the functions which are necessary to our body. As like that, when the functions like digestion, respiration and also movement, all these functions which are carried out by the cells. Okay, so cells are called as functional unit. Is that clear? Now structural is due to because of cell. Structure is due to, you know that why structure is there is formed due to cell. Is that clear? What is a cell? And definition of cell is here. Cell is a structural, functional, basic and smallest unit of life. Okay? Now the cell. So if we can say that one experiment were conducted, and in that experiment when cells are separated from the tissue, or when the cells are kept independently or separately from the tissue, the cells are alive, or cells they do not collapse or die, they are able to survive. But when the components which are present in the cell, these components when we remove from the cell, it is impossible to survive the cell. From this it is clear that the cells are independently, but when they are separately from the components which are present in the cell, they are not able to survive. Okay? Understand what is the cell and why cell is called as structural, functional, basic and smallest unit of life. Now, if you talk about the organism, how you can divide the organism? You know that there are two types of the organism. First is unicellular and the second is the multicellular organism. Which type of the organism? Unicellular organism and multicellular organism. Now, what is the meaning of the uni? Is the meaning of uni? Uni means only one. And what is the meaning of multicellular? Means multi means many. Many means it may be one or two, or it may be more than millions, or it may in the billions. Okay, when the organisms have only one cell, or that body of the organism that got only one cell, this type of the organism, we know this type of the organism is called as unicellular organism. Okay, now here are some examples of the unicellular organism. Is the amoeba and bacteria. yeast, amoeba and bacteria. These are the example of the unicellular organism. And if you talk about this example, if you talk about the amoeba, here the structure of amoeba, and this body of the amoeba got only one cell. But obviously organelles are present, but the body of the amoeba got only one cell, and this cell performing all the functions which are necessary to that of the amoeba, like respiration, digestion and movement, multiplication. All these functions which are necessary to that of the amoeba, they are performing all the functions by only one cell. Okay, if you talk about the multicellular organism, multi means many, more than 2, 3, or it may be in the million or billion. You know that it like a number of cell, means we cannot count the number of cell. When we can say that, how we can say that the organism can be divided on the basis of the number of cell. We cannot measure the number of cell, but we only say that the organism is unicellular or it may be in multicellular. Means whenever there is a presence of only one cell, then the organism is unicellular, or sometimes there are presence of 2 or 3, or sometimes there is presence of million or billion cells, then it is a multicellular. Only we can say that the multi or unicellular. Okay, but if you talk about the examples of multicellular, there is examples like plant, animal, etc. Like this example, we can also say that the ant also is a multicellular organism. Okay, this is about the unicellular and multicellular organism. What we study? What is a cell? Cell is a structural, functional, basic and smallest unit of life. And types of the organism. There are two types of the organism. One is unicellular and second is multicellular. Uni means one, multi means many. And example we will say yeast, amoeba and bacteria. And now example of multicellular we have studied plant, animal, etc. Okay. Now if we talk about the division of labor. What is the meaning of division of labor? Okay, division of labor is known as to divide the work. To divide the work in a particular part. Means if you take an example of our body, heart. Heart is responsible for the pumping of blood, and if you take example of stomach, stomach is responsible for the digestion, and if you talk about the lungs, lungs is responsible for the respiration. That means that the particular work is divided into the particular part. Okay, that is the meaning of division of labor. That means to divide the work. It is to divide the work. Okay. Now, how this division of labor is take place within a cell. We will talk about the division of labor in a cell in this chapter, but we will talk in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you.